So, free will. Now, I had actually done some videos on this a while back, mostly inspired by some videos of Alex O'Connor, the cosmic skeptic I had watched on the same subject. But I actually deleted those, so hopefully this one will be kind of a hodgepodge of all those ideas put into one. But yesterday I had actually watched a video wherein David Wood and Apostate Prophet were reviewing the debate by Ben Shapiro and Alex O'Connor. And that had kind of gotten this rolling around in my brain again. So free will, what does it actually mean? I think in this context, the idea of free will is in essence that one's decision making would be unconstrained by one's instinctive drives or predispositions. And if that's the case, then no one in their right mind, at least, would actually want free will. If we as humans were actually capable of utter avolition, then according to what metric and to what end would we ever make any decision? Right? No. I suppose people might want to be free of some sort of extraneous secondary instinctive drive, like a drug addict might want to be free of their desire for drugs. They might want not to want that. But as a general rule, we as people want to want things. We want to desire things. It's what inspires our actions. So no one in their right mind would actually want free will. Then how does this thing even become like a topic of discussion? Why is it actually a thing? I think it has to do with what one might consider like the asymmetry of instinctive drive, more or less. So let's say you have two kids, right? Now one of these kids is raised in a Christian home, right? Forgive my theistic bias. Christian home, good parents, good siblings, good environment. When this child reaches adulthood, they're going to enter in on adulthood with a whole host of what we might call virtuous predispositions pre-programmed into their character, right? Because they were raised correctly, they will be predisposed towards moral behavior. So you have another kid over here who's raised in a delinquent family, like a father who's a gambler, a mother who's a drug addict, neither of whom will raise them the right way. So when this child reaches adulthood, they are probably going to be predisposed in the exact opposite direction. They will be predisposed towards immoral or delinquent behavior. So how is that fair? How is it fair to judge these people by the same standard or to hold them accountable to the same degree? And some people would actually take it to the extreme to believing that this person over here is literally incapable of moral behavior. Like a hard determinist would believe that no one's responsible for anything they do. Like it's all predetermined. It's all stuff we don't choose. We're plopped in a body we don't choose, with genetic predispositions we don't choose. We're born to parents we don't choose, and raised in an environment we don't choose. And we're constantly bombarded with external stimuli that we don't choose. Right? Our path is predetermined by things like cosmic momentum, and everything in life is just out of our control. It feels though like the underlying assumption to all of this is that there is no commonality of instinctive drive. Right? There is nothing that every human in the universe has in common, and therefore we cannot judge other people by the same standard as one might judge yourself or anyone who is predisposed towards moral behavior. Right? You can't hold them accountable for that because they didn't choose it. I don't think that's really the case. I do think there is a commonality of instinctive drive. I do think there is kind of a basic starting point that we all start from. There is a degree of fairness when it comes to the distribution of instinctive drive. So as a child, I think the primary instinctive drive is something like this. Pain is bad, pleasure is good, right? This is the basic concept that I think most children get, right? They try to avoid pain and they try to gravitate or deviate towards pleasure, right? That they want pleasure and they try to avoid pain. As we get older and we discover concepts like death and life, it becomes more something like functionality is good and dysfunctionality is bad, which kind of overlays pretty well with pain and pleasure, right? Pain is generally an indicator of potential dysfunctionality. Pleasure is generally an indicator of well-being. So it overlays pretty well. But this is like the prime directive that comes inherent, I think, with every child. It's the starting point, which we all start from. I would think because of this, because there is this commonality of instinctive drive, it would be pretty easy to derive some basic moral claims off of that instinctive drive, right? If I don't like pain, then probably it's good to not cause pain to others. If I don't like the idea of dying, then it's probably a good idea not to kill other people. So I would tend to believe that because we have this commonality of instinctive drive, we should be legally capable of judging other people or holding them accountable for their actions. Because there is this instinctive drive, and because I think some basic moral claims could be pretty easily intuitively derived based off of that instinctive drive, I think people should be held accountable. Now, there are extenuating circumstances. I think that's generally taken into account. But I do think people are responsible for what they do. Anyways, hopefully that made sense. Alright, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you like.